Welcome, everyone, to the D2G podcast. This is your host, Choppa. And here I have to my left my buddy, Joey.
How's it going?
And here to my other left, my other buddy, Adrian.
Hey, everyone.
And us three here will be talking about a myriad of topics. Some things for today, future thoughts of crossplay gaming, mobile games then and now, and some other things that we might get into, some mischief there. But to start off, we like to break the ice with what we're playing this week in gaming. So I'm going to throw it to you, Joy. What are you playing this week?
Mainly I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege. The new season came out, Rising Tide. And I got introduced to the two new characters, Mai and Kali. I really do not like Kali.
Why? Because she's blowing through It's
a one hit down no matter what.
With the sniper, you mean?
Yes, with the sniper.
You don't think the difficulty of it being a sniper helps lends itself to like close range combat?
It's a lot easier like on console from my understanding, but like people that are just like flick on people on PC, it's not. It cannot be fun. Especially there's some maps that are just very like bank. I don't know if you.
Oh, I remember bank.
So you know how like there's that parking garage that has all the windows that shows over the main lobby and then the presidential.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's not fun.
Yeah, I saw a clip of that. You can shoot someone from top of the parking garage all the way into residential. So it's like,
really?
Yeah, with the 12-time scope.
Because you can shoot through the glass.
Yeah, and then you can shoot through like the soft walls, and it makes a big hole.
Yeah.
Why?
Even like the barricades, like it'll shoot your barricades.
And it destroys it right away. One hit and destroys it.
I mean, I guess it does make it interesting. There's, at least a character with some long range to it, adds up some options. I would imagine though, since is it only on that map, or they found other like maps where she's like really OP on?
No, there's other maps. It just depends on the angle. Of course, like I'm trying to think of another map. Because I knew the new one that they reworked was at a theme park, and that one's still confusing. That's like very, like half of it is still the same, but then the other half isn't. But I know like a lot of people have been liking that a little bit. But I know some pros are not really liking it just because like they say it's a very team oriented map, and if you play like solo queue, it's not really. There's to win it. Like I find it really difficult to attack and then defend at the same time.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would say, there's always the option because they changed up, the whole way of matchmaking, how it works with, Siege, and you can ban characters all the time anyway. So if you're playing on bank, like you probably know that Kali's not going to be, one there unless you're like going to defend.
No, I know. I've been banning Kali
every time. Oh, okay. Well, see, there you go. So I mean, there's ways to get around certain operators, so I don't think it's too crazy, unless it was like on every map. She's
but like the whole point of
kicking your ass.
The whole point is not to make a character where like I want to just ban constantly.
Well, sure, but you would have to admit that there are characters that people ban constantly, depending on what map it is, all the time.
No, like the 90% of bans is either Echo,
Jackal.
Cav is kind of up there, and as usually Shield Operator. But then it's kind of different because with Kali in the way, it's just like, okay, Kali, instead of a Shield Operator, it's kind of like Kali.
Yeah, but you don't see pro people play as Shield people.
No, because they actually do a lot of team-oriented plays.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's that huge of a difference, if it's only for certain things, that it's situational. Because that's what that game is. It's situations all the time. What it is all the time. I'm sure they'll figure out something to nerf her in some capacity, because that's what they do for everybody. They make some characters just bleh.
I think they'll just leave it alone.
Like taking the ACOG away from, certain characters.
Bandit,
Jaeger. Because I used to play Jaeger all the time. Whatever. I don't play that game. I suck at it. It's okay. I'm all right to admit that.
You know how like weird it used to look with like the SMG with the like Bandit's SMG with the ACOG?
Yeah.
Like the ACOG was like half of the gun.
Yeah. Or like when I was playing Vigil and the spread of the submachine gun was not insane, or the machine pistol. You remember how I used all that shit all the time?
The SMG was like, everybody used to use the primary on the SMG.
Yeah.
Instead of like the actual primary for like
No, I did that too with Hibana. I would use her secondary as a primary before I got used to her primary.
Yeah.
And that's actually considered because that one's actually was worse at the beginning than Vigils, because Vigils was a little bit more controlled. And I remember there was one point in which I got 3 kills with it in a very confined space, because that thing shoots so fast, and it's like, if it's not all over the place, it was actually really good. But now it's crappy. But oh well. Anyways, they nerf everything. It'll come to pass. Just give it some time. Yeah. But anyways, moving on to the next one. Adrian, what have you been playing this week?
Been playing mostly. Picked up Modern Warfare again because been playing it with my cousins. They have it, and one plays on PC, the one plays on PS4, and then been playing Brawlhalla every now and then just to see if I can get my rank up. But yeah, so playing Modern Warfare is a good segue to one of our topics. Is the future thoughts of crossplay. Mm-hmm. Now that we are in a time where crossplay is becoming a thing, I remember back in 2012 when we had the dream, or like the thought, the forecast of, like, imagine if we were able to play like with each other, even though, like, this friend has a PS3 and then we have an Xbox, that'd be so cool, we were able to play each other. But now it's like, back then, like, if you want to play with friends, and not that long ago, you would have to either buy an Xbox or buy a PlayStation. But in the terms of Xbox 360 versus PlayStation 3, I feel like then the 360 held the greatest advantage of the party, or like the online console to get with friends. Mostly because at that time, Call of Duty was a big game, and then Xbox was one that first got the map DLC, so a lot of community was on the Xbox sites. But now, today, I see a lot of, like, the younger generation playing on PS4s, and then now, like, this past year was when they introduced the new Call of Duty World War II was they introduced, like, hey, we're going to release the maps on PS4 first now before the Xbox. So I think now we're in a time where a lot of games such as Fortnite, Dauntless, those two on the Epic Games client, they really started the cross-platform play. I think it was Fortnite, the pioneer of cross-playing. We have Brawlhalla, which came out, and now they have crossplay between also Rocket League, Modern Warfare, and if I'm missing a few, then feel free to chip in. But I really do believe that, like, now we're able to not be limited to, or majority of people not be limited to one console or one thing to play on, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, or even PC. Because on Modern Warfare, if you buy the game, then everyone has to create an Activision account, and then that's how you're able to play with people on different platforms. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we talked about it. I can't remember if it was with Rocket League when it was announced or anything like that, or if it was even before. I mean, I feel like we've been talking about it for years, so I'll have to remember exactly. But yeah, the whole thought of, hey, if you're on Xbox playing with PlayStation, we never thought it was going to happen, because they're totally separate entities. PC thinks they're the master race, which, there's some arguments for. Xbox, typically looks down on PlayStation, and vice versa. PlayStation looks down on Xbox. I never thought they would do it, although I always thought for the games themselves, it would just lend itself to making more sales, because if you can play and party up. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, on some of them, I don't think all of them, you can party up on them now with separate consoles. Yes. But there's not a way other than, like, other third parties to chat, right? Like, I don't think there's a game yet.
You have to play mostly through, or talk through mostly through their in-game.
Yeah, you have to talk through in-game. Like with Modern Warfare, you do what I have my audio setting is I mute everyone else except for people in my party. Yeah. So whenever I invite, like, my cousins, we all talk in, part of the in-game lobby chat. There's not really like a party chat unless we have them get Discord.
Yeah. So
but you can't get Discord for, like, PlayStation or anything like that.
Yeah, you can't run it like.
Well, but you could do it through your phone.
Yeah, but then you would have to have, like, another headset.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm just saying that's my whole point is like there's third party options. Now they're not the best options for that because like you said with the lobby whole thing, you have to mute everybody else.
Well, it's still a lot better
We're
than
just
the
waiting
Switch.
on that final one. That
I feel
final
like-
push.
I feel like if you're playing like a shooter like Call of Duty, but if you're doing like Rocket League, because you don't really need sound all that much
Yeah.
to play Rocket League.
Yeah. I mean, you don't. Some of the like higher tier people do that, and if you're like partying with them all the time.
Yeah.
But because you can
But
party
what-
now on different platforms.
Well, what I'm saying is like in Call of Duty, you use a headset typically, so you can hear like footsteps around you.
Yeah.
But like whereas Rocket League, you can get away with not having a headset and then having like say earphones something to talk to Discord, because
Yeah.
you like hearing like I guess like the sound of cars around you will be helpful because like the positioning and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I guess for what I'm saying like not as for professional play or like high competitive play, but for more of like casual play. Then it's like you can
Yeah,
get away
no, definitely. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it'd be more like you'd have it in the background of your TV kind of thing, maybe, and it's not that loud, so where it's not on the headset with whatever you're using, and then like your teammates would probably just tell like, hey, that car's running up on you to demo your ass kind of thing. So yeah, no, definitely for that, but like for Modern Warfare, it'd probably be more of an issue, like you said, because you do need it because the whole footstep thing, and thank God they lowered that. Because that was really annoying.
Yeah, but I'm really liking the Crossplay, especially with I believe it's Fortnite and Brawlhalla that they do the Crossplay via Switch as well.
So, oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's really cool. Like I know I played Fortnite with my younger cousins, and she has a Switch, so we played Fortnite. So that was pretty cool.
All right. Yeah, no, that's probably the last push, really, because like I remember years ago when we talked about it, we didn't think they were going to do it. Now they're doing it. Fortnite was a good proponent of that. Rocket League, I want to say, did it pretty early too.
Rocket League did it early, but it wasn't a party invite system where I can invite somebody. But you were able to play against PC and PlayStation players. But that was it until they introduced like the Xbox players, and I think
The magical switch that turned on by accident.
yeah.
Mm.
So
Oh, they had that already made.
they had it already, but
Like everybody knew it. No, everybody knew the technology was there. It's not like this was like some unknown technology. They just didn't want to because everybody hated each other. So it's fine. I get why.
yeah, and I think the reason why it's bigger now than it was back then is because I feel like back then we also played a lot of solo games, like one like we played ourselves, not necessarily without. For example, we like Dragon Age, and say Fallout 3, the Fallout New Vegas, where back then there was a lot of single player titles that we played, and then that's when we had say like the Microsoft and Sony or PlayStation exclusive, like Microsoft, we had Halo, I forgot what else, but I know Halo's one of the bigger ones. And then for the PlayStation, we had say like Jack and Dexter, the Kingdom Hearts series, The Last of Us, just like for example, Gears was one for the Microsoft side. But yeah, those were the exclusive games, and then people who, so it's like, hey, I want to play more of these exclusives rather than these exclusives, so I'm gonna get this console.
Well, Microsoft has always been about online. Like like you said, Xbox 360 was all about.
Well, I mean, they started
online
that
features
earlier. I would say definitely, but like to his thing, like
no,
games
they're
back in the day were more single player experiences.
Yeah, but
that's
they
why
were
there
like
wasn't
the
a need
big
for
opponents
crossplay.
for it.
Yeah. No, I know. Definitely. Like Xbox Live, Xbox Party, Xbox Chat, all that stuff they were big proponents of that because PlayStation was having a lot of issues with their stuff.
I know like PlayStation had issues with the even like party chat system. Like they didn't have that for a while.
Yeah.
I still hate the UI.
I want to, yeah, I mean, I still hate the PlayStation
It's
UI.
like super slow.
Yeah, for some reason
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Like
And
even
then-
if you have fast internet, it still sucks. Like I don't know, it's very strange. But you're right. I think even when it came out originally, like PlayStation, I was gonna say PlayStation Nation, when that started up, with PSN Network, it was like all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
They couldn't do jack.
I mean,
Yeah.
they barely just got the name changes like this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before then they had the PlayStation 2, but and then I know that had online capability. Because I seen it, I never got to try it because I didn't have internet at the house, like back then.
Yeah.
But I seen like it was happening. So of course, back then it's probably still end game. There was probably like no like party system as now, and then I feel like the 360 did pioneer a lot of that stuff today.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, they did good when it came out originally, and I wonder now if it's because of games like Fortnite, that they wanted to do crossplay, like they wanted to get it out there. They did mobile quickly, they did all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's just because the popularity of something like that went so big that it kind of forced the industry as a whole to kind of just like, hey,
well, no, like it's a mixture of that plus the Microsoft and Switch were willing to play together, essentially.
Well, sure, but no, I'm saying like, as to the earlier point with multiplayer games in general, this whole shift, I think, is a huge proponent to that. Of course, friendly, companies, whatever. Nintendo is, owned by Japanese people, so that's a whole different thing. But
you would think it would go the other way.
Do you think it would go the other way?
No, you think it would go the other way. You would think that like the Switch and the PlayStation 4 would have done it before the Xbox and the Switch.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say that at least for PlayStation in general, like all the executives and stuff over the years, like they've made it known, they like to put down other companies real quick, Like I even heard things like when they were doing like indie stuff, like they had a lot of problems when they did indie stuff, like they were real hard on indie creators and things like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a big proponent until after Xbox did their whole indie push, that they started doing their own, because it was really difficult for them to get indie stuff.
Yeah.
And that was another phase in gaming in the last decade or so, was whole indie games and stuff like that.
And another thing I think is cool because like how Fortnite first it was like a PvE game, and then they're like, well, maybe we have our own way of battle royale, and they're like, okay, implement it, and then that just popped off. And I don't even know what the first console,
Save the world.
Yeah, the PvE world, yeah. But I don't know what the first console was that Fortnite, I guess, partnered with to have crossplay with. I don't know if it was like both Xbox and PS4. And then, cause I know the Switch came later, and after Switch, it was like mobile. But they give time. They released a mobile version, and they gave time for the mobile players to get used to playing on mobile before they activated, the crossplay for mobile to the other ones, which I think is like really cool.
I mean, they hit the ground running though. Like, it's not like we say like it took a little bit of time, but like overall, they did it really fast.
Yeah, it was just like 3 years.
Yeah, because it hasn't even been out that long. Like Apex, for example. I mean, it's not doing crossplay, but like I feel like they're in the same genre, and it boggles me that they haven't even like attempted it either.
But you can do crossplay in it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know why they haven't.
No, you can't because mouse and keyboard have the sole advantage over any controller. It's true because
but they will say the same thing about Fortnite.
No, but like you can be good because the whole thing of Fortnite is like they don't have an ADS. It's kind of like a hip fire thing. Like you can zoom in, but like there's a bullet. There's a shooting bloom and spread. Whereas in Apex, these are ADS, and like say the R301 for example, you can shoot straight with that gun. Like for sure, you can shoot straight with that and the R99. The Flatline has a kick, but what I'm saying is that if you're on console, you have the better advantage because you can also flick with Pathfinder's movements, and then not only that, you can B-hop on keyboard and mouse. You can't B-hop on console, from what I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
well, it's possible. I mean, it's just really hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like because unfortunately, as much as I play controller on every PC game known to man, yes, there is an advantage to playing mouse and keyboard. However, to me, I still play controller. Even when we play Apex Online, I still play with controller. Now, do I really feel like I'm losing out that much? No, but I'll toot my own horn and say that I'm better than average. So, there's that. But, I mean, I get your point. But to that, I mean, I think I like the idea of having it open to that. I'm sure that if you could just turn off the option to do it if you wanted to. Be like, hey, I only want to party with, PlayStation or whatever. You can have it on a setting, but for a battle royale game like that, that's very similar to the whole genre change. I'm just surprised that they haven't even, now, because the same thing could be said about Rocket League. Like it's crossplay now, but people that play on mouse and keyboard like swear up and down they have better control with the car. You know.
No, well, they might. I don't know. I think at that point it's just preference, but I know like seeing like the competitive play for Rocket League, everyone has a controller. Because that game, I feel like on that game you find more success on controller, but then you can also find more success on, I know, it's like say, Dragon Ball Fighters. You have Sonic Fox, and he has found success on the PlayStation controller, and you have other people who use like the actual fighting pad, and then there's some people that can use keyboard. And then Brawlhalla is like another game. There's like 2 pro players that find success on controllers, and then everyone else use keyboard.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I'm just like I think they're closing the gap is all a little bit, and I don't think it's that huge of a gap for it to not be an option. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the one game I think that should have crossplay will technically be Destiny 2.
Yes.
Like why?
Yeah, definitely.
Why does that one not have it? Like they already have cross saves, but it's just like.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one because it has cross save, and you can play it. Like I could play on my Xbox and be like, "Hey, I have the same freaking character, and I have all my stuff saved," but you can't do.
Well, not technically, you would have to transfer it.
Yeah, but you can do it at any point. Like it's not like it doesn't do it. Is what I'm saying. Like you can do that at any time that you want, and like, hey, I'm here on Mars, and you play on my big TV. Oh, here on Mars. You know, it's just accessibility, and you're right. Like they should have done that already. I don't know why it's not a thing.
Like the whole game is about like playing with people. It's just like, but it's like, of course, there's a competitive part, but it's just like the PvE part. It's like the raid thing. The whole problem is just like they say not like only like 10% or something like that play the raid, or actually done the raid, just because like people don't want to like match up together, and they always knew like that's a big problem that they have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would think that if people were able to do that in crossplay, that would help lend itself to that, you know, because it's a little bit easier in certain scenarios to team up with people. But, you know, it's a good question. I don't know why they haven't done it. I mean,
I'm probably over exaggerating about the 10%.
It's okay. It's all right. I didn't know the number either, so. So, status.
But it's something.
Status boy, go get it.
It's something like that, though.
Uh-huh. Nah, I mean, I believe that it's a low number. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, out of the 2,000 people that play, it's only 200. That's 10%, right?
Yeah. But I do feel like Destiny should be crossplay.
Yeah, no, I think so, too. It should definitely be crossplay. Yeah, and with that, like, I play on that with controller. Mm-hmm. I mean, the game that should not be is Siege, because that, no. Because, like...
But, if you say Siege can't be crossplay, then... That's the same reason why Apex isn't crossplay.
I would say it's a little bit different because that one hit, because I play with controller on Siege, and people have ridiculous aim because they're using, because you can die in one hit.
Yeah.
Apex, you're not gonna die in one hit.
I don't know. Well, get hit by a Kraber.
Depending on when you get hit, maybe I'll get hit in my leg. Oh man! Although when we played yesterday, like.
Yeah, I remember you got lasered down, and then you're wondering how they get me down so fast. Like, well, man, you got lasered. Because you got more control with mouse and key than you do on controller.
Sure,
because you gotta have more control using your whole hand on a mouse rather than using your thumb on a stick. But plus you do have like aim assist, but like you will have more control over.
I mean, they're gonna release the new controller, the Xbox Elite controller. We'll see.
Yeah, is it a mouse?
They say the inputs are quicker on that. We'll see. I don't know. They're kind of touting that whole thing with the
Isn't it like $200?
Oh, it's the same as the other the Xbox Elite controller.
It was like $180.
Okay, $20. Really? You're gonna make a big difference at $20?
I mean, it's a lot of money.
Oh, okay. Now you sound like some certain people that we know, Joey. Let's not talk about that. For work. Yeah. Okay. Let's not get into that. Anyways. But yeah, no. I mean, I agree with you for the most part, but I would say in Apex, no. But anyways.
I mean, I think it depends. Like, if you're like, are you playing casually? Then it's like, okay, like whatever. Are you playing like for like the competitive? Then it's like, okay, you might want to go mouse and keyboard because there's a lot of tech that you can do with mouse and keyboard that you can't do on controller.
Well, I mean, I'm also saying this with also the option of it being there. Like if you don't want it, don't do it. But I'm saying there should at least be the option so that's easier.
Yeah, and I like when Modern Warfare is a good game that had to be crossplay because I was honestly like,
Wait, why don't you think that one's the same thing? In terms of headshots, like headshots deal more damage.
Yeah, but like
Guns have kick.
yeah, but but you have the M4. Even like if you're a console player, the M4 is the good gun go even on PC because the M4 shoots straight no matter what. The M4 you can shoot straight with no attachments. That's a big thing.
So do you think it matters if there's like the time to kill,
Yeah.
or
like,
do you think that it matters at the time to kill?
I don't think so. I mean,
Because your main argument about the crossplay for Rainbow Six Siege was because of the
headshot.
headshot.
the headshot.
Which is literally just one headshot.
Mm-hmm. Well, and in Modern Warfare, it takes a little bit more than that. It's not,
Yeah.
one hit.
Yeah, like you can hit someone in the head with like an AR, but it's not gonna kill him in one hit.
Right.
It'd be like probably like 2 shots to the head, 2-3 shots depending on what gun you use, depending on the damage on the gun.
Yeah.
But if it's like a sniper, of course, it's gonna sniper or marksman rifle. That's gonna be a one hit on the headshot.
But I'm saying, like, do you think that's the big proponent for like
Yeah, because I feel like
that makes crossplay like okay?
Yeah, because you can have.
Well, it comes down to
like,
that gap. That's what I was mentioning. That gap of, you trying to catch up to a mouse that could ultimately kill you in one hit. That was my whole shtick.
Yeah, because playing with my cousin yesterday, I thought he was gonna do bad, but like
Because he's,
yeah, he's on console, but like no, he was like top of the boards like along with me. Like I was like okay, like I'm really surprised. I didn't expect him to be like up there. He's like, but like he also plays against like the PC people, and I think Call of Duty is like one of those games where like anyone can kind of get good at, not in good sense of like going pro, but like good sense of like just good at the game. Cause you can figure out like where to shoot at or like where you're gonna aim at. If you pay attention, like if there's UAV up, I glance at the UAV, see like where the red dots are on the map. Like I can expect somebody to be here, expect somebody to be there.
I mean, but I think that lends more to my Apex argument because, I mean, I don't know. I play with control all the time, so I got to think of those things because I'm going to get outshot. Like, that's why my favorite phrase is spray and pray, because I'm not going to have that control that, everybody else does. But
and Apex is a good game for hip firing because the hip firing is really accurate in Apex. So you don't have to ADS all the time, especially when like in close quarters, you can rely on the hip fire in Apex. That's like another thing with it.
yeah, especially if you're using the shotgun. Like, it's got a good range as a hip fire. Unless you're using like the precision choke or something, but that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying to Siege, in which it's a one-hit kill, like it's just really difficult. Like you're probably gonna lose 8 times out of 10, versus somebody.
And not only that, you have the 4:3 ratio, right, Joey?
Yeah,
but like
you also have people. It's set to automatic, but it's just like
but you also have people at the computer with the monitor close to them. Whereas if you're a console player, the TV, you're probably not sitting as close to the TV as you would on monitor. Because like someone who's playing on a TV might be playing on a larger, like 30-inch plus TV, compared to someone who's playing, say, like on a 24-inch monitor at their desk, where you're seeing like probably like not even like six or like a foot away from,
I will say this: the Siege is a completely different when it's PC than console. Console has a different type of feel to it, while the PC is just more.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, there are games that can lend itself into that. I would say Siege is like the big proponent not to. In terms of competitive play. I mean, I guess if people really want to do it, like it'll happen. But
I mean, there's people that play that were well known, like. That played with the controllers.
Yeah, this guy right here is sitting to your right.
Not really.
I hate you. The fact that I try to pump myself up and you just tear me down makes me not want to play anymore.
You don't want to play?
I don't because I suck at it. Because I'm a spray and play player. It's like, it's not the same thing. Body shots don't count for jack in that game. Like, oh my God, I hate it. Like when I'm shooting somebody like, da, 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 and like they have like a sliver and they're like, boom, one hit and you're dead. I'm like, why did I even bother?
Just waiting for the head. Easy. Yeah.
Once again,
just click.
Click
on it.
The kick on the game. The kick on the gun is too high.
You just need one bullet. Click on it.
Also, you getting like peaked like 1,000 miles away with a headshot. It's like, oh my god, I give up on life. That game makes you want to rage quit really bad.
Siege is one of my favorite games of all times.
I know it is.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
I love it.
I will admit it's a very tactical, interesting game that adds itself to, a whole lot of avenues that have probably changed a lot in gaming in general, because I don't think you ever played a game that's like that tactical. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of like I don't want to say first of its kind, but it really is kind of is, the first of its kind. Because I don't know like what other Tom Clancy games. I think there was wasn't there like another like Rainbow Six game that?
Well, there was two.
Yeah, but that was more of a.
But like I don't know, like was that more of like a campaign shooter?
Well, it's more of a PvE kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the whole like you're in Vegas kind of shenanigans.
You're going into a building to rescue the hostage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, but like, I think I want to see more types of games like Siege, like where it's like more tactical team oriented play. Like
I know. I mean, it'd be cool. It's just I would imagine there's so much work that goes into it because like these guys like spend all the time on that all day.
Yeah.
Every day, and I wonder how hard it would be to even create another one.
Essentially, what it is just a MOBA.
Although Fortnite tried to do
it's a mobile that's a shooter. That's where like the idea of kind of like Siege came from.
Yeah.
Like, cause they know like League of Legends
popped off. Yeah.
Like I know it's not the same, but it's just like you have these characters that do something specifically, and they wanted to bring that into a shooter.
Yeah.
Which at the time, when like 4 years ago, when all those games were coming out that were MOBA / shooters. That's why like I kind of think I think that they didn't do that for Siege. Because I don't need like 3 lanes that you have to try to fight for.
Yeah.
Or like one single lane like
but
Overwatch.
But it's kind of like Call of Duty. Call of Duty used to have like the whole 3-lane system. That wasn't necessarily a MOBA, but they used to have the 3-lane system for maps.
It still has 3 lanes ish.
Yeah.
They're trying to get away from that, but it's just like
it's kind of hard. It's kind of like what like you're so used to having that, and so it's like even harder creating maps that can bridge like those gaps.
I would actually say it's kind of impossible because you have 2 sides, right? And you have to populate stuff in the middle, but then you gotta have
ways to get around it or ways to get through it. Yeah,
so,
I think the map that does it fairly well, I forgot what it's called, but it's the map that has the broken cinder block building in the middle. And then like to the right has like a playground area, and that's like that's like the right lane. The other lane
Are you
is
talking
open.
about
with the trench.
Yeah, the one with the trench.
Oh,
And the left side is the one with the trench. I think that map does it pretty well.
I would say it does it because the buildings help lend itself to you being able to traverse. Because there's verticality to it.
Yeah.
Because on all the buildings, I think, except for maybe like one, there's like multiple landings and stuff like that. So yeah, probably so.
Yeah, especially in the middle portion of those buildings, because there are like 2x4s that connect some buildings together, and there's enough coverage on the right side and enough ish coverage on the left side for you to navigate to like your position you want to go.
Yeah. No,
even if it's across the map, because there's enough coverage between those two.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, on that map, it helps out a lot. I mean, the ones you can still see where it's like 3 lanes, especially on like that cavern one. It's 3 lanes.
Yeah, so I think every time I get that map, I have never been like, oh, it's this map. Unless it's a bridge map, then that bridge map I do not like playing, because that bridge map is essentially
it's like 2 lanes.
Map? It is a 3-lane system where 2 lanes on the ground and then 3 the top bridge cuts across.
Technically,
but it is essentially just like 2-lane system.
Yeah.
What about the London one?
Which one?
The London one.
Oh, the London one. I think that one's considered.
It's like
that's like kind of like 2, because you either go
the street or through the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that one, because that one's mostly a metal.
Yeah.
Thing, and I don't like that one.
Yeah, no, that one's not a good one. I mean, honestly, to be fair, overall, the maps in general, I do not like. Except for like 2, and even then, like I don't really like them a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because if you take over the building, and I forgot what the name of it is.
The palace.
The palace, like, boom, you got it. As long as you don't lose the palace, you won't lose that game.
Yeah.
Because you control the whole center, and you can shoot from every direction. I mean, which is interesting. It's more like King of the Hill, I guess. And I like that map. But I guess, like...
I hated the map.
You don't remember that one?
I hated the map.
Oh, safe one. Which I hate that.
Which one? Palace?
He hates Palace.
Oh.
But, like, the other ones are just, like, they're coming. You know? It's just really difficult. Especially if you're, like, on the losing end and they see you as soon as you're coming. Like, it's just really difficult. It's not even a matter of skill. It's like you just need somebody that can actually aim down the sights and they'll hit you.
Yeah.
Especially that bridge one.
Yeah, the bridge one does honestly the worst job of it.
Yeah. And in general, those maps aren't amazing. Like they should add some more maps there to try and figure out some better. Oh, I don't want to say lane system, but just geography. I mean, on the map, architecture on those maps to add stuff to it. I mean, because
what was the one that's in the? I don't want to say like Middle East, but it's just like
the cave system.
No.
Yeah. The like it was like
no. The ones with the it was like a box. It's like they actually had 3 levels that I didn't even know about.
Bless you.
To like certain buildings.
The buildings.
Yeah.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know which one you're talking about either.
Okay,
is it on the 7v7 map list or is it on the 10v10 map list?
10v10. Or no, 7v7.
Okay, because I don't remember. Because I don't play 7v7 because I don't like the maps in that one.
Yeah.
Because it's purely... I feel like when you do 7v7 team deathmatch, it's purely a camping game.
Yeah. Because you're going to be playing in the caves. Or you're going to be playing that 2-lane, London bus shenanigans.
Yeah. And then even then, you can get spawn trapped.
Yeah. It's just, oh my God. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So 10v10. Even if you are playing on that bridge map, it's like, it's not as bad as getting trapped in London.
Yeah. Or even on that bridge map, if you play domination, you'll get trapped.
Oh, you can, but it's a little bit harder. No, it's just a little bit harder. I mean, that bridge map is not a good example of, great map architecture.
Design, yeah.
Yeah. In which overall, the maps aren't great. It's just like there's one good map and that's kind of it. And it's just okay.
Mm.
But I don't know. I mean, Call of Duty is I think that one is the most played though, right? Isn't it?
Like most played game? Like
I want to say it broke some record or something the other day.
It's probably like broke a record at launch, but I feel like Fortnite's always gonna be the most played game, and like probably.
Probably overall, but yeah. I think Modern Warfare. When I say that, I think Modern Warfare broke its own record by me saying that.
That's probably because like it's been on declining, and this is the first one that actually brought to a positive. I don't want to say positive, but like.
Yeah,
and I wonder.
Remember that 1 year Infinite Warfare had the most dislikes on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like it beat out. I think it was like that
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, Justin Bieber song. Yeah. And then YouTube Rewind beat out Infinite Warfare for most dislikes.
Yeah, no. The record itself was like I think its own self-made record that it had beat itself, and I mean, who knows? Maybe Crossplay had something to do with that.
Yeah, I feel like it does because it's really nice being able to play. Like, I guess it gives people who are on PC able to play with their families again, who have consoles that are not like big PC or like tech people, like say like quote unquote like tech people
or big gamers
who want to be on PC.
Yeah, they're like casual family member that just has an Xbox.
Yeah.
I mean, casual players do lend itself to the extra oomph to sales for companies. That's why it was always a thing. Like, why I wondered why they just didn't do it before. That's like, well, and this is a side topic, but it goes more to casual gaming in general. Like with the Switch, like the reason it does so great is because people that don't have time, to kind of just do it on a console and all that stuff, like it really lends itself to you taking it on the go.
Yeah, it's a strong enough system to play like some other titles. Like it'll play like Doom. It'll play Doom, but then again, Doom's not like a very hard game to run.
Yeah.
But they will play Doom, and then that's actually how it also play Warframe. I mean, I would play it like as well, but like they'll play Warframe and they'll play Rocket League.
Yeah.
And you have that experience of playing Rocket League on the Switch.
Yeah. It definitely changes things. Like, it's just my depth perception is like way different on that screen. Like the moves that I would do to try and hit the ball, like I whiff hard, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then I've also played with another kid who played Fortnite on the Switch, and like, and he was doing a 1v1 with my cousin. I was watching it, and they were both doing build battles. Like, wow, dude, like he's doing it on the Switch, like build like the whole like building thing. I was like, that's crazy. Like he's building better than me, like on PC.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I mean the network thing on the Switch is good because like I was playing matches against regular, PlayStation players and stuff like that. It was just like my whole depth perception was the problem. So that's just me in my old age, but like to that effect, like the Switch does a really good job of porting things over. Even if like The Witcher doesn't look as great as it did, like if you want to play an amazing RPG, on the go, there you go. Or Skyrim, like
Skyrim, yeah. And
like,
eventually you'll get Skyrim for your phone, and you get Skyrim for your TI-84 calculator.
I mean, Elder Scroll Blades looks good on the iPad. Just saying, like it looks amazing on here. Now, is it Skyrim? No, although they should have already done it by now. But I mean, that's a whole another side thing. Like the Switch does great. Oh, okay. The whole point was casual players, right? So I think with that bump of crossplay, being able to introduce a little bit of casual players that didn't want to shell out whatever to just be competitive, helps out any game really. That's why I kind of like wanted to be for like Apex a little bit, but this is another side thing. And I think just more and more games will do it because to your earlier thing, with single player games, like there's just not as many.
Yeah, there's not like, unless it's a quote unquote exclusive title or a title that's being like brought back. Say for example, The Last of Us 2 is coming out. That'll be a single player thing. Like majority of us will want to play.
Yeah. Like
I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3. I still haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3. I bought it and it's still in the wrapping, but because I don't have time to play it.
Well, that is just like
you're the biggest proponent for Kingdom Hearts. I'm surprised you still haven't played it.
Yeah, no,
like I already beaten it.
Dude, I bought it a year after, and it's still in the wrapper, and it's still like
you made me watch that whole thing on Kingdom Hearts, that YouTube video, and I played it so I could be up to date. For shame.
I just don't have time for it.
Well, no, I think it's just more of there's more money to be made in the multiplayer space than a single player.
Yeah, and that's like another thing.
It's just like,
oh sure, yeah.
Because it's like either if you do like a really good single player and it does really good, but then you only get that one-time purchase. That's why they're trying so hard to do the whole like microtransactions. But then a lot of people are actually hitting on that. Yeah. But then if the game does not like bombs and it's a single player game and everybody knows it, no one's gonna buy it, and then you're just like deeper in the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, to that, I mean, it is a bigger risk to do a single-player game nowadays than it is, because you think of like, well, maybe this is a bad example, but like Kingdom of Amalur, right? Like, I don't know if you remember when that game came out, but it came out like when, like Skyrim and all them were coming out, back in like 2011, I think. That game is not terrible. Like, it's not a bad game. It's like a B game, but since it's, single-player experience, it doesn't lend itself to make money. So, like, I think the company shut down. But, like, it's not a terrible game.
Yeah. And a lot of, like, the game-producing companies did fizzle out.
Yeah.
Like, over the years.
Like, so, technically, even Saints Row did, right? The company that did Saints Row? They got bought out by somebody else, I think.
Probably. Like, I don't know. I haven't kept up with it.
And, like, I love that game. But, it doesn't...
It's on the Switch.
It is on the Switch. I played that game, like, 3 times over, And it's a great game. But, because it doesn't have a... lifespan, I guess is a way to put it, because of multiplayer, like
THQ.
Yeah, THQ. Yeah, they got bought out by somebody.
Well, they
else.
went bankrupt.
Yeah, and so they got bought out by something.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, because they're making Saints Row 4. So.
And then that company also called themselves THQ.
Oh, did they?
THQ Nordic.
There it is. It's Nordic. Okay, well, I was gonna say Nordic, but I didn't know they still also had THQ. That's interesting, but
because everybody was like, "What are they doing?"
No, they're gonna do Saints Row 4.
No, but I mean, like, that company that called themselves THQ Nordic. Just like, why call yourself a company that technically went bankrupt?
Because they wanted the same property.
I mean, why call the new Xbox? Xbox X Series X or whatever it is. And
No,
then
but it's
Xbox
Because
essentially-
it's a double entendre. That's what it is.
But
It's
no,
a-
I agree with you saying like you're naming yourself after a company that went bankrupt, so it's like, oh, you might have like a bad name like moving forward.
It's like calling yourself Sega, and like it's like Xbox like buying Sega,
Uh-huh.
and then instead of the Xbox, it's like here's another Sega. It's just like the perception of like everybody's gonna be like, the last Sega sucked.
Wow, I didn't know you were a marketing person, Joe. You want the marketing of imagery to be on for
Well,
the.
no, it's just like it's weird. It's like why?
Okay, but like,
Yeah.
okay, no. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you probably 99%. However, to the 1% here, those people that are going to be buying Saints Row 4 whenever it comes out, do you really think they're going to be like, oh, you know, THQ, Nordic Press, because they're got bankrupt company, this game's going to suck, you know? No, nobody's going to think that. Right? Would you agree?
Not really.
Okay.
Not
what I'm-
really.
All right, whatever. Anyways, that's what I'm saying. Like, the Saints Row is going to be a great game. Now, however, even though it might be, like, because it doesn't have... and because it doesn't have that, you know, lasting longevity because of multiplayer, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, like, I'd be curious to see the sales numbers for, like, Jedi, because that's my play of the week, right? Because I've been playing that when I have some free time. But, you know, to say that would be... I would have to look at the sales, but, like, it's a bigger risk than doing something like...
Yeah, especially with their past history of Battlefront games being, you know, like mostly kind of.
I don't even know how they're still making content. Honestly, it's probably because of all the people that had like got shysted and got the deluxe editions of them.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who got shysted, especially the people who played, or got the Stadia.
Oh yeah.
You hear about that?
No.
So basically,
I've been hearing all the commercials though, but
yeah, I see all the commercials, but
Oh, those ads are targeting really hard.
Oh,
On
yeah.
fucking- on YouTube.
so
yeah,
people who
big
bought
time.
people who bought like the $500 like founders edition stuff, you have a 7 return day period. And that 7 return day period starts as soon as you hit the confirmation of buying the device. It doesn't start as soon as you get it. It starts as soon as you bought it.
That's stupid.
So basically, you can get, I don't know like what the shipping is, but if the shipping is a 5 to 7 business day shipping,
Then you really lost it.
then you basically lost it. And then
Dang.
upon like say setting it up and then, you know, trying to say, oh, maybe today I'll just have a bad day of like, you know, quote unquote internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
Try again tomorrow, and you've already passed the return date, and they won't refund you. That's
Wow.
the whole like thing that's going on now.
No, I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
And
the
there's
whole thing is like it's not even in 4K. Like their whole component is like, oh, it's gonna be like natively 4K. And it's
Oh.
just like it's been showing. It's like this not. It
Yeah.
hasn't even been
Yeah, I
close
mean,
to
I've
it.
I've seen the commercials where they're like, "Oh, it
but
looks
you know,
amazing." and
games have to be developed to be, and it'll be 4K too. And then you also have to have like a 4K TV. Like I'm not okay. Oh, I got 4K, but I'm playing on a fucking,
That's true.
fucking like, you know, like a $80 TV or that's only like 1080p.
Hey, don't look at my $80 TV when you say that.
Oh, I'm just saying, man. Like
Yeah,
if I
it was Black Friday
like
deal,
if I'm
right?
gonna buy a $2,000 PC system that
Yeah.
you know, like everything like, you know, high like i9 32 gigs of RAM, like a GTX like 2070, you know, something that's capable of running 4K. I spent $2 on a system, and then I have like $100 monitor that does 1080p. Then it's like, okay, I'm not gonna get like, you know, the
Yeah.
results. If I can afford this $2,000 PC, of course I can afford like a $500 monitor to like, you know, get that.
Well, so then I would wonder what is it because they have 4K and it's not working, or they don't have 4K and they're trying to make it 4K?
They have 4K and it's not working.
Okay, all right.
Like,
So
they-
then that is an actual issue then, because like if it's them like, hey, I don't have a 4K TV, like you're saying, like
Yeah.
No,
that's kinda
like
stupid.
that's completely like understandable, especially like, of course you're not gonna get 4K if you were running like on
It's like with the PlayStation
Like a
4.
phone. Yeah, you're not gonna get 4K on your phone.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like the PlayStation 4. You got the the huge high definition stuff on there, but I don't have a TV that can run it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me. I mean, that's more like
Yeah,
Other-
like enthusiast people. Yeah.
yeah, like does it look awesome? Sure, but like for the average Joe like us, like I don't really have the money to shell it out. Like that'd be a win the lottery kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take like 1080p at 144.
Yeah, I'm okay with 1080p. But to his thing though, if there are people that are shelling out money, and they have 4K TVs that's not working, that's kind of crappy. And plus, they're not getting their money back. That's even worse.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing.
No, I didn't know that. I saw. I definitely have been seeing all the commercials, and it's totally catered to the YouTube generation there. Like with the what's his name? I forget his name, but he's like Stadia. You know, at the end of that, yeah. And they were showing Destiny on it too. That was like one of their big proponents, like on a lot of the
It's like one of the main games though.
Yeah.
I think
Whenever
whenever they released Stadia, it only came out with like 50 games or something. So I was like, okay, we only got 50 games or something.
Well, when the Switch came out, how many came out with it? I wouldn't say it was a huge number either.
No,
right
it
off
was
the
actually there was like 2 games.
Or like probably like 2 big games and then like indie games, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2 big games and then there was some indie games.
So it was like Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and then probably like some indie games.
But even with stuff. The indie games, like a lot of developers didn't want to put anything there yet because they didn't know how
right
well
away. No,
yeah,
right.
the Switch was going to be.
No, but that lends itself to the whole point. Like I think that with the Switch, it was even less of a whole like they had announced a lot of stuff for sure. But it didn't come out right off the bat. Like I think it took like a few months.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the success of something like Breath of the Wild or Odyssey, because I want to say they both got like 10 out of 10s in some places.
Of course, you have like the whole diehard like Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
So they'll get it. I'm not like a diehard Nintendo fan by far. But I do enjoy the Switch. I don't have Odyssey, but I will get Mario Party. Like I play Mario Party. That was a pretty fun game to play on the Switch. Like I haven't played Zelda. I'm like not that big of a Zelda fan, but playing like the other games have been pretty fun. Of course, Pokemon. I'll play Pokemon. I have Shield.
That was one. Like I remember when we were talking about it when Switch was coming out, that I was surprised that they didn't have a Pokemon game like right off the bat.
Yeah, like ready. Yeah.
That was one because I would have sworn that like Nintendo would have been all up on that shit right away.
I think
when Niantic was not, they didn't believe in it.
Oh, they didn't?
Not really.
Oh shit.
They didn't believe in the Switch.
I mean, I would like to go back because I would say that was a lot for a lot of people because after the success of it, like initial few months of it came out and it doing great, even regardless of the few titles that were on it.
But it's a first party Nintendo game, but they just didn't believe in the Switch. They would rather.
Well, yeah. Well, look at what happened to their other ventures. Like, they're not really huge sales, for their other games other than like Pokemon on 3DS.
Yeah, like what was their previous like console, the Wii U, like
also bombed.
Yeah.
Like, Pokemon didn't have games on those.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably like. I don't want to say Stadium, but it's probably like like Ranger, like a Ranger type game maybe.
I think even then they still did it on 3DS, the Ranger game.
Yeah,
but
on 3DS, I know it's on DS, but I don't know about 3DS.
Oh, it might be D. Oh, okay,
No, there was 3DS like Ranger games or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew it was on one of the handhelds. So then I guess the question would be, I wonder if Pokemon in general and Niantic like they thought that theirs would only be handheld. And they were avoiding console on purpose, and since this one was technically a handheld console,
no, they didn't. From my understanding, they didn't want to put like all their eggs in one basket. Essentially, it's just like they'll rather keep it on the 3DS where they know they have a lot of people already have a 3DS, so they'll have a lot of sales. They didn't want to go to the Switch when they're in fear of like not many. The Wii U, not that many people bought it.
Well, I mean,
and looking at it this way, I think Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee was kind of like the safe route for them, like testing the waters.
No, that was the safest route.
Yeah.
Like that was the quickest thing they can do to actually put a Pokemon game on the Switch.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, let's go back to
Gen 1.
But at the same time, they were trying to capitalize on the people that were playing Pokemon Go.
But even with that, it took a bit. I mean, I
think it took a year after, right?
Yeah, because I would say that's extremely cautious. Because by then, like I know it took. When the Switch came out, it took like a month or two.
I wouldn't say like it was extremely cautious. I would say it's like something that they could do real quick that they didn't really have to think about.
Yeah.
Well, sure, but I don't know.
I guess you mean like in the point of producing it. What Jeremy's saying is the way of cautious that they waited like a year after the Switch came out in order to put out a Pokemon game.
Well, I think it's more like because they did Sun and Moon when the Switch came out.
Yeah.
And then so they did Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Right, which they could have technically put it on the Switch, but whatever.
But then, like at that time, they were developing, I believe, the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
Right. But my whole point is like, this isn't exactly like freaking rocket science for them. Like, it's a Pokemon game. There's not exactly so many systems in it in which it's, we're making The Witcher 3 here and it takes you 10 years. Like, it's Pokemon. Let's relax. For them to take that long to do it, like, they knew beforehand, before the Switch came out, like, what, it was going to be. Sure, if they wanted to wait maybe a few months to put it out, fine. But then for them to put out a test game that's not even really a Pokemon game?
They're still developing games for the 3DS.
Okay. That still doesn't change my point. I'm just saying it's extremely cautious. That's my whole point. That's all I'm saying.
They just didn't want to.
Okay, because...
Yeah, because it goes back to Joy Point. They didn't thought the Switch would do well.
What I'm saying is, like, you're making it sound like they had an idea of what they're going to do for the Switch. I think they didn't.
No, they're saying that they had the ability.
Yeah.
Not the already had an idea for it, but they had the ability to start the next actual Pokemon, but like skipping Let's Go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They took a whole year to put the game out. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Basically, Switch launch a year later. Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu. And the year after that, we have Sword and Shield.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Was it in 2 years?
Well, I mean, it's a 2-year span. That's
2 years span from Switch release.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not on the third year?
I mean, I have to go back and check, but if we are, it's even longer.
It feels like it came. Like I feel like it's 2 years.
I mean, if it's the case, it's even longer. But that's my whole point. Like, they could have not even have done Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Like, they could have just started working on the Pokemon game before that.
It's been 2 years.
Okay.
Since the Switch release,
March of 2017.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Adrian was right.
Yeah. So like. Yeah.
So that's my whole point. Like, I'm just saying they didn't have to have an idea right when the game or the Switch was coming out. I can understand them being cautious because of the Wii U, whatever. My whole point is they were cautious after it came out, putting a tester game out, and then waiting to do it. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying now?
Mm.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Is that even after the success of something like the Switch, a few months in and them seeing all that stuff, they still took the time to do it. That's what I'm saying. And then, of course, they're still using old shade models, but, it's another thing.
Is that really that big of a deal?
They said they didn't do that. Don't say that.
But is that really that big of a deal, though?
It is.
I don't really
I think. Well, to me, is it a big deal? No, I don't really care.
Yeah.
However,
I just don't like the excuse of them saying we're gonna take the time and effort of putting new models or new creations for every single Pokemon that comes out. That's probably the reason why we don't have the National Pokédex. Is like, no, like, we know you don't have that many people on your team. Just say that you don't have that many people on your team.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Don't make the excuse of like, we're doing it by hand. Like, no, you're not. You're copy and paste it.
Yeah, which is crazy considering like they're so big of a company. But whatever.
But they don't have that many people on their staff.
Yeah, no, but that's like you can't hire.
You mean like under like development staff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you can't hire 2 other people. But whatever. That actually lends to my point.
Come on, then you guys spend all the money on marketing and production, and getting games out.
Mm-hmm.
Making those shops, man.
Making those shops.
They just make that new one with that Mewtwo in the cage.
That's true. I mean, but anyways, that lends itself to my point, so I'm okay with that. So, because they didn't even have to come up with new models.
Yeah.
The same ones. So, like, it took you 2 years to figure that out? Like, that's all I'm saying. You're extremely cautious.
And they have a fraction of everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're extremely cautious by that logic.
At least in this game, they make it really easier, like, to catch a majority of the Pokemon. And if for anyone who wants to get into competitive Pokemon, this is like a very good game because you're able to, like, all the tools you need to do competitive, it's already like in the game. Like, easy, super easy, like an IV checker, the breeding stuff, like getting like the items for the breeding stuff. It's so easy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that it does well. Now, I think the overall, like, in-game stuff, like, yeah, there could have been more things to do.
Okay, story-wise, did y'all like the story? Or, Jeremy, did you like the story?
I thought it was okay. I mean, I think...
The silent protagonist.
I mean... It's Pokemon at this point. Like, none of them really talk.
Yeah, no one talks.
Yeah.
It's all
No, but
it's all telepathy.
Yeah, it's all telepathy. They don't. It's not like Halo where everybody talks but you. It's just.
Not everybody talks.
No, but they don't actually use their voices.
Yeah, they don't use like
No,
voice.
but they actually show like animation through it
Sure, but it's different. It's not the same thing.
instead of just your characters smiling creepily.
Dude, honestly, like I don't remember anyone moving their mouth. I just remember
Yeah.
them like the whole.
Yeah, you know what? I don't remember people moving their mouth. Oh, I guess maybe when the girl talked. I guess.
No, they move their mouth.
Yeah, very little, but
They
mean-
move their mouth.
yeah, that's even creepier. Honestly, what is it? Star Fox? Like this?
Again, it's all telepathy.
Yeah, I mean, even more so. They didn't even need to have voice actors or voice. Anything.
Like I don't care if they don't. Like I don't care about the voice actor part. It's just like
No, I'm just lending itself to my more earlier theory that it shouldn't have taken that long to make the game.
Your issue is like why like promise or say something you're gonna do but not go through with it.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
I mean that's like sort of every game company.
Yeah, I mean, to that, I mean, I like the game. Do I like the end game? No. But is it fun? Yes. There are systems in place where it's fun. The Gigamax. Am I even saying it right?
Like,
the Gigamax stuff, it's great.
I just remember you saying like you wanted a different battle system.
Yes.
I still don't think they should.
That was we talked about that a long time ago, but
different than this current turn-based system.
so when we were talking about this, yeah, this was back a while.
He was
back.
talking about like the Breath of the Wild, but for Pokemon.
No, I was talking about like Pokken Tournament.
No,
but-
but I
Pokemon
mean like
Tournament.
that's what you like equated to.
Yeah.
It's like okay, but Zelda turned into Breath and Wild, and they wanted Pokemon to be basically in Breath and Wild. It's like completely. I'm gonna say completely new and different, but it's just like.
But
what I got from
to
that,
that,
was,
it's kind of like that now because you go up to a Pokemon
Yeah.
out of the grass.
and I think that's really cool.
No,
Yes.
but that's not like I
No,
was
it's
saying.
fine. It doesn't have to exactly be like that. But you know what?
You're like Pokemon Stadium. I'm like,
I like Pokemon. Well, okay,
But Pokemon thing was still a turn-based.
yes, but it's a little bit more
and I will
inventive
always
with
say
the animations.
Yeah,
they're never gonna like.
They should though. They have the technology.
They have the
they have
like
the better technology.
a better technology. Their attacks are still the same. It's just like, all right, he's gonna do a kick for like half of the like.
Yeah, but at least have a different animation to it.
I
Like,
don't know.
Yes.
like if somebody's gonna do a seismic toss, like
Okay, tackle. Like half of them, it's just like
yeah,
they
but
just
like,
move
if you-
forward and
but
that's it.
What people like in endgame's gonna have fucking tackle.
Exactly. You have level 100 tackle with your Pikachu.
Yeah, like you gonna have a Pikachu put tackle over Volt tackle. Like
I mean, you could do it as a troll.
I mean, I'll take it. I'll take tackle.
yeah, just breed a fucking attack IV Pikachu.
have tackle like does 300% damage.
Yeah, you'll have to have a Pokemon that's able to raise its stats like Lucario.
Oh man. But okay, but that's my whole point. Is like if they're gonna do tackle, I kind of want them to ram into the Pokemon.
So that you don't really want a new battle system. You want a better animation for the battle.
I do. I mean, I would like it as Pokken Tournament like style to where it's more
You control it like controlling the battle.
you
Okay.
have more over it. But sure, if that's too hard for people because it is a kids game, fine, whatever. I just want better animation at least.
No,
That's
it's
the bare
just-
minimum.
I still say they leaving it like that just because they're competitive.
No, but give me animation. You can still have it competitive and have the same amount of damage.
And like even in the game, you can cancel out the animation. Like you can turn animations off for battling, where it's just like you do the battles like okay, it's a hit.
Yeah.
There it is.
Just
it's a
give
hit,
me
there it
the
is.
animations. Give it something because honestly, it takes me out of it a tad when they're like, well, to the effect though. I do like when they do the Dynamax abilities.
Right, because they're nicely animated.
Exactly. They're regular ones? No. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like there's only a handful. Like okay, so for example, you have a fire type Pokemon that knows Incinerate.
Mm-hmm.
Like that name alone, like makes it sound like, oh, dude, that's fucking cool. Like it's Incinerate.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it? It's just a little fireball that goes to him, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like just don't name it Incinerate if it's like it's supposed to like look more appealing and do more than 60 damage, like have it like you can name it like fucking Fireball, and they're like, okay, like, yeah, it's a ball of fire going to like fine.
Well, to that though, with Cinderace, his whole kick animation.
Yeah, the Pyro Ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That has animation. Yeah, see the difference? And then you go back to Pikachu, it's like...
He's a new Pokemon. I'm just saying he's a new Pokemon.
Yeah, he's a new Pokemon.
And they actually had to make
animation.
But
even you know what? To that, there's not even a whole lot of Pokemon in the game, right? Not a huge amount.
Yeah, not.
So
not
they
huge
could have
amount
done the
of
animations
ones.
because they wouldn't have had to done a whole lot.
But like with the older, like say like older Pokemon does knows, I think it's like Rock Tomb or something. The fucking rocks come out the ground and like basically stab the Pokemon. Like that's a cool animation.
No, I missed the old one. It was just boulders, just like
Boulders just fall down.
just falling on top of them. Yeah.
Honestly, I hated that animation. I didn't get the X part. Like okay, I was like okay, Gara,
Yeah.
coffin.
That's what it was.
That's really what it was.
Yeah, like it just has to be something like if you're doing, rollout or something, right? Just show it hit the Pokemon and it like falls down and has to get back up or something. Something.
Yeah,
You want to know what I
like,
hate? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I actually really hate like when you're like not doing a move or something, and it's just like the whole transition of like the views of the Pokemon. It's like, all right, like I don't need it. It's like the screen is moving. You're like looking at your character, looking at you for like 20 seconds. I'm like, hello, I'm looking to see if it's shiny or not. I couldn't remember.
No, what I also hate is when like you do fly, dig, whatever, you don't see your Pokemon. It's like you don't see them until they come back down. It's so annoying.
And then I remember, I don't know how it is for Fly, I don't remember.
It was different in Stadium. In like the Nintendo, you see him go up in the air, and you see him in the air come back down.
Yeah.
Like,
was it in Seismic Toss in one of the games? Like it actually did like the world, like it showed like the world, like
that was the old one, wasn't it? Like
I think that was Stadium.
Was it Stadium?
Was it Stadium?
I thought it was on the Game Boy game.
I thought so too,
Yeah.
and I want to say it was like
or DS game.
I actually want to say it's like Silver, and they do it in black and white.
You sure it wasn't Stadium?
I don't think it was.
It's like they go around the.
Yeah, I know. It was like it was in the anime. Charizard did the whole like fucking 10 laps around the world.
Okay, you don't need it.
He pulled a Superman and went back in time. Oh my god, he pulled a Superman too.
Holding your grandchild.
Yeah, he went back in time. No, I think it was Silver, and you saw the Earth, in black and white on your
No,
Pokemon.
there was no way it was Silver. No way.
All right, check it. Seismic Toss. I don't even know how you'd look up that.
Right, it was like YouTube. It's like a 10-year-old like video. Someone has like their phone recording their Game Boy.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, how would even? Yeah, that'd be terrible trying to record that.
No, but yeah, I do agree. Like battling needs better animate.
Thank you. Bare minimum. At least give me that. Like I don't need it. Okay, I wanted to be Pokemon tournament so that you can be more, in depth and you can dodge and stuff. But can't have that.
What I was to say, what I like what they did in this game. I don't know if it was on Let's Go, but the whole like friendship thing with the Pokemon that is in game, not necessarily in like player versus player, but like in the game, like say I get hit with an attack, my Pokemon almost gets knocked out, but it says, oh, like this Pokemon toughening out because it don't want to make you feel bad, so it survives with like one hit.
It's in Silver. I knew it.
It looked like a boulder.
It's the Earth, dude. Okay, sorry.
And, yeah.
We're showing the video of Silver of Machoke throwing the world at Ho-Ho.
It looks more like a moon or something.
It's blue.
The moon could be blue.
Oh my god. Well, I was wrong about it being black and white, but
but yeah. But like what I like was like if your friendship with the Pokemon like is high enough, it'll be like, oh, like it dodged the attack because it reacted to your voice call. But it's not like necessarily an input that you do. It's just like it's in the in game. Like it's just RNG is what I'm trying to say. And then it's like, oh, your Pokemon toughened out the attack because they want you to feel bad, and your Pokemon's still on the game with like 1 health. stuff like that. It is pretty cool. Or like, and then it's like, oh, your Pokemon landed a critical attack, and then it just wants to be praised. It's like, oh, it's like that, like it's cute little stuff that kind of like brings it kind of closer-ish to the anime in terms of like battling.
I mean, there's been mechanics over time that are things like some people just don't do. Like, say for instance, like the cleaning thing. Like I never did that, for the Pokemon to make them feel better. But like, I think it's okay for them to have mechanics like that in case you want to do them. There shouldn't be a game shouldn't get dinged because it has extra things to do, like for the friendship mechanic. Like it's like optional.
Like the camping and stuff.
Yeah, like I think they just always change it though. Also, they always change it, and I wish they would just kind of keep it more. Like if you want to have the mechanics, just keep them all in there because I think people like them. Like like that. And on that,
so you still wanted the beauty contest?
I mean, you don't have
honestly,
to.
I like doing like in Sapphire and Ruby. I like doing the Pokemon contest.
Did you really? I hated that you needed that one Pokemon to be like win the beauty contest just to evolve it.
Oh, the Milotic?
Okay.
Yeah, the feedback.
Okay, but that's an optional thing. Like you don't need to do
but
that.
like that,
You had to use it if you wanted to evolve it.
If
you
want if you
like,
wanted to get that Pokemon and use it, that's what I'm saying.
I have to get every single Pokemon.
Okay, you're in the minority.
I'm a minority.
Where you want to get every single Pokemon, but you're in the first area still.
Yeah.
So 120 hours
Because I want
later.
a shiny.
Yeah. Have you got one yet?
No, not yet.
Exactly.
Bro, like legit with that time, like 40 hours, beat the game, and then like whatever hours get the Pokédex. Because I'm almost done with the Pokédex, and then I'm close to getting the shiny charm.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get a shiny before you do.
No, he's gonna trade me all the Pokemon that I need. And I'm evolving them.
Which
anyways.
is like all of them.
No, I just need the ones that are from Sword and Shield. I mean, from Shield.
Terrible. But
no, the beauty contest. Yeah, I like doing it, and
yeah, and it's an optional thing. You don't have to do it.
You had to do it.
Joey
for one
does
Pokemon.
not count.
But there's other Pokemon that have like special requirements. Like there's one Pokemon that needed to be in a magnetic field in order to evolve. I was like, okay, what the hell? Or like getting a Leafeon and Glaceon. Leafeon needs to level up near a mossy rock. Glaceon needs to like level up near like an ice rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but those are very specific things that you don't have to do to,
Well, no, like I think still that's like different. It's like okay, beauty contest, somewhat completely different than actually just going into the wild and leveling up near a rock.
Okay, but there are different mechanics in which they're optional mechanics that are just adding to the gameplay as opposed to it getting in the way of you finishing the game.
Like
That's what I'm saying.
I think getting Sylveon was harder in X and Y than it was in this game. Cause I forgot what you had to do, and they could do. And Sylveon was like high something in Pokemon Ime or Iman, I don't know what it was called, but in this one, as long as it knows a Fairy type move, and as soon as the friendship gets high enough, it will evolve into a Sylveon.
No, that's how it was in Black and White.
I didn't play Black and White. I played X and Y.
Or X and Y.
I played. Which one did I play? I played X and Y. I didn't play Black and White or Black and White 2.
Yeah, like I played
that one was a really popular one.
Yeah, but I could never get into it.
I never even played it, so I mean that was one. That was the only one that I could like the generation that I skipped. But like apparently, like a lot of people like swear up and down like that's their favorite Pokemon
You skipped
game.
a couple generations.
Well, no, just X and Y. Or I mean, not X and Y. Black and White. That's the only ones I skipped.
Yeah, and then like I also
You didn't
skipped.
play X and Y either, or Black and White.
I played X and Y.
Yeah,
I have X.
I don't pay attention.
You were there when I bought it,
I don't remember.
and you bought both of them.
And I skipped Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon.
And I have Sun and Moon too. I
I
mean,
have
no.
X.
So the only one I missed was Black and White.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, for some reason, like people think that's their favorite Pokemon game, and I'm just like, I wonder why. Like, I don't know.
Nah, my favorite Pokemon game is Silver or Gold and Silver.
Gold and Silver.
Favorite one for sure is Silver. But I do like Sun and Moon.
I mean, I
like
like
X.
Crystal, but
I like X. Pokemon X and Y. I really like that game because introduced like with the berries, they had like the cross pollinating.
another interesting mechanic that's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, the ones I hated the most were like Diamond and Pearl.
You hate those?
Yeah.
How come?
Just never liked that one.
No, the one I don't like the most is Ruby.
Really?
In
Yeah,
Sapphire.
I played a lot of Ruby and Sapphire.
No,
Remember we installed
too much water. Yeah.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah.
We could just have a Pikachu and he can beat the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that does bother me. I hate doing the water segments in all the Pokemon games. I hate doing it.
Really?
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
like surf, and then I like how in
I like not having to use
a
the
Pokemon.
yes, for the moves. Like
Yeah.
it was always annoying.
Yeah, like having a TM thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I liked about this game, because you don't have to have. It's like, oh, like I have a bike,
Yeah.
and this bike I can pedal my bike across the water,
Yeah.
like swimming
Well,
next to the big ass Whelmers and Whale Lords.
Actually, why I did that too. That you just had the different mechanics of getting traversing and stuff, as opposed to having to have the move.
The TM.
Yeah. Which I like a whole lot more because like I remember like doing silver and like having to have like my Typhlosion no cut, you know.
No, I always had that one like Pokemon that just knew all the TMs.
Well,
Yeah.
like
That
I
I
always
never
had
used.
Gyarados know like 3 of the TMs because you needed surf,
Fly, waterfall.
waterfall. There you go.
I hated when they
And
added
dive
waterfall.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mechanic. Thank God they got rid of. But the other ones, like I don't know. Like there's so many now that I feel like they should just keep them like cross-pollination, or you know, the friendship or the different things.
I liked about X and Y was like, you know, the guarding of the berries. I really enjoyed like, you know, playing the berries and doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And the cross pollination was like super cool. I was like, oh, okay, so if I, you know, have this berry next this berry tree next to this berry tree, then I'm for sure gonna get, you know, this berry to grow.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
You didn't play Sun and Moon, right? No, you didn't. You played Sun and Moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like that little island?
Which one?
Wasn't Sun and Moon full of islands like this?
Yeah, I was like,
No,
although
no,
it's
but
like,
the island that you go to where you got like the berries from the berry trees and then,
Oh.
then you planted your own fields.
well, yeah. I mean, it's an interesting mechanic, but like I didn't really care much for it.
Well, the only reason I liked about it is just because like I liked planting the berries,
Mm-hmm.
just so I can get the berries, so I can then go ahead and shiny hunt.
No, I mean, that's
Because
because
like,
you're insane. But
because like the shiny hunting for the Sun and Moon was just like doing the SOS mechanic.
My
Which
friend was
is-
saying something about Pokemon Home coming out, and then I think you'll be able to transfer your Pokemon over.
yeah.
No, not all of them.
Well,
I know, but like some, at least you'll be able to transfer. Like if you have a Ditto that you use, then you'll be able to transfer that Ditto.
I still want that Japanese Ditto.
Go get it, dude. Just chill out.
oh my god, it amazes me that he spent so much time trying to catch one sheep that's off color.
Well, no, I started hiding. Well, because like apparently like it's you don't have to. There's no chaining on this one.
So he says, has he caught one yet?
No, but there's no chaining on this one.
Have you caught one yet though?
No.
Okay, I'm just saying. The proof is in the pudding, and you have no pudding.
Okay, there's people that you literally have
Okay.
pudding about it.
But do you have pudding?
Not me personally.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
'Cause
Until you catch one, I don't hear about it.
It's there.
Nope.
They announced
Nope.
it
Until you catch one.
until I catch one.
Yeah.
People
Proof.
catch it as soon as they enter the fucking game, and that pisses me off.
Dude,
'cause
that
I'm
happened to
just-
me. I think on the Ruby or Sapphire. I was like zigzag goon because I saw stars coming out. I was like, "Oh, what the hell was
It's
that?"
like literally the first Pokemon they run into. It was like a major thing, and I'm just like sitting there. I hate those people so much right now.
Well, until you catch one, I don't want to hear it.
No, I stopped because he told me to stop. I'm like, all right, I'll stop
Oh.
for a little bit.
And because I had been telling you to stop for like a month already, and you still haven't-
I'm telling you to stop and do this story because you'll get to this
But
story.
I
get what
do
you
not
need.
want.
I
to
told
beat
him
the
to get
game.
the item too, and he didn't want to do that either.
I because no,
Bro, it doesn't even keep record of what Pokemon you used to win.
they used to.
Yeah, that's true.
It does like there's no like Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, because there's no Elite
They got rid of
Four.
that?
Yeah, because there's no Elite Four.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The end game to that is a little lacking.
That and the rivals are very lacking. Or your like rivals.
Your 3 rivals that are. There's only one cool one, and the other 2 are
Yeah, the other two are hella
errand
lame.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Man, we really got on this Pokemon kick,
There's
didn't we?
3 on it.
Huh?
I thought there's only 2 on this one.
What? Rivals?
No, it's the curly haired kid, Hop, and
Marnie.
Marnie.
The golf lolly.
I was gonna call him Marley, but Marnie, yeah.
I don't remember.
And Marnie's the only cool one. The rest
Yeah,
of
the
them are all,
Marnie's like legit the only cool one out of the 3. So
Yeah.
that's the only one I consider a rival.
yeah, because the other 2 are just like, nah.
You know why? Because he doesn't pop up and like, hey, let's battle. Like, or hey, you're a piece of shit. I'm better than you. Like, oh, my brother's a champion, so I'm gonna be champion.
Yeah.
And then I go and would fucking destroy his ass. Like fucking beginning game, like I get it. He chooses a weaker type to mine, and I fucking 1v2 him. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
The fact that you find him so, aggravating to you is amazing. But I mean, is he a great character? No, but it's just funny hearing you talk about him. But oh my god, we got on that.
No, was he needed? No, like that champion could have been your brother, and it could have been a whole better line.
You know what? You're probably right on that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Because in other games, like you had so Ruby, going back to Ruby and Sapphire, your dad was a gym leader.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, and it's like, oh man, like congratulations, son, you beat me.
What is he? The 6th or the 7th gym leader?
He's like, yeah, he's like 5th because he's like the normal gym. 5th or 6th, because I know, I think the 6th is the trees, the flying type. So you're in the 4-tree city.
I thought the psychic was the
Psychic
6th.
is 7th, and then you fight the ice person on 8th. Yeah, because the psychic is the Soul Rock and Lunatone, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played the game. I haven't even played like the Omega Ruby and the Mega Sapphire. I bought them.
I have them, but I haven't like played them through because I played so much of Ruby and Sapphire, so I'm just like.
Yeah, I played it twice, and both times I'm just like, why did I play it again? Oh my god.
But yeah, so like honestly, like you fight Hop. Fuck, dude, you fight him like
a lot of times.
10 times, I think.
Like every time you go to the gym.
Yeah, every time after a gym. Every time you fucking take a shit, he's there to fucking battle you.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. You fight him like 10 times.
Yeah, and you fight Marnie like 4 times, and you fight the other.
I don't think it's like 4 times.
Yeah,
I
you
think.
fight the other dude, but dude, it's just like, dude, get the heck.
I don't even remember his name.
Bede or Bede.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's BEDE.
Oh, you're probably right. Better. Beady. I'm gonna call him Beady. He's got beady eyes. No, he doesn't actually. He's got weird hair, and he probably got raped by that old lady.
Do you like how they made it where, well, none of us are noticed besides me since I have both of them, but I haven't really played it. But they're saying that that it's partially different. It's just not about just the Pokemon are different, but it's just like, all right, the gym leaders are different.
Yeah.
Oh, there's only one gym leader that's
2.
different. There's 2?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just the one.
There's 2 different gym leaders, but one gym leader is the same type.
Yeah, because one of them is a mom and one of them is a son.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's when you go to the snow one, they'll fight the ice gym. Those, I think that the gym leader changed, but the type of the gym stays the same. But when you go to...
So it's not the blonde-haired kid, because that's who it is in Sword.
Right, it's a blonde-haired lady.
Oh.
His mother, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who it is.
And then the other one is the girl with the mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that she replaces the fighting gym that you have in your game.
Oh.
But like the gym challenge is still the same, but it's like different color scheme.
Okay.
And then different, like Pokemon type.
I mean,
I know that was a cool iteration.
I just don't know if it's enough to make you be like, hey, I need to get both.
No, I think the underlying thing that makes you choose either or is the exclusive Pokemon. Like if you're only going to buy one game, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna buy the one that has like the cooler exclusive Pokemon.
Yeah, because like for me, like it really came down to like, cause it's like the same thing to me. The only thing it came down to was like Farfetch'd or Ponyta.
Yeah, but I was like, for me, it was like, ooh, Tyranitar.
Oh, okay.
Shield, so I was like, okay.
That's fair. I mean,
yeah.
For me, it just came down to Farfetch because like Farfetch looks a badass, That was better.
And not only that, the fucking legendary for Sword is better than the legendary from Shield.
Oh yeah.
Calm down.
I mean, I like it better looking.
I think like in terms of like use case for battles.
Oh, even for that too. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly did it aesthetically because I was like Farfetch'd, and I was like, I like the sword.
Of Surfetch.
Yeah, Sir Farfetch'd, and then I like the sword with the legendary as opposed to the shield. But that I just liked it aesthetically as opposed to actually being useful. I don't know. We've been on this We've been on this Pokemon kick for a while, which transferred over to mobile games then and now. Speaking of which, Pokemon Go.
So do you want to wrap it up with this mobile games?
Yeah,
Just wrap everything up.
We'll wrap everything up before we get on another kick. We'll end it here with the mobile games and kind of just talk about.
Yeah, because right now we're at a hour 24.
Holy shenanigans! All right, well, let's edit this and be like, well, guys.
But we can save it for.
Yeah, we can save it.
We'll
Yeah.
save it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up right now.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We'll edit this in a certain way. So
Because we didn't. We just went into the Pokemon tangent. It's not even part of like crossplay.
yeah, yeah. So we'll figure out an edit for this. We'll just pick a spot here and then we'll pick it up to cut out the rambling of what's going on right now. All right. So yeah, that's been our Pokemon excursion. There, we went on a interesting tangent with Pokemon. We'll probably stop here for today and come back at y'all next show with some more interesting topics on games and some other interesting topics of the day. Also throw it out there just real quick because I really like the show. Witcher is the number 3, high in demand. Just throwing it out there because I really like the show. And we'll come back at you for topics like that, and we'll see where we're at next week. And this has been the D2G podcast.